I understand that this is the first time you've been back to Parliament really in 5 years, and I also understand you're here as part of a Stop the Adani campaign.
Well, it is 5 years since I left the Parliament, and there's been no good reason to come back except to visit my old friends in the Greens. But the Adani campaign has got me back here because last year it was thought that financially it just couldn't go ahead. Over Christmas they got a roll on. Now we've got the government talking about giving them $1 billion interest-free loan to get up and get going. And the dangerous prospect is that this world's biggest export coal mine is going to get going in Queensland, with 500 coal ships coming through the Barrier Reef each year to export what is a carbon bomb into the atmosphere, right in the middle of the worst death experience, bleaching experience that the Great Barrier Reef's seen, and that's saying something. So here we've got this absurdity, and 70,000 jobs in Queensland based on that, but one of the world's great natural treasures dying as I'm sitting here and you're sitting there, and Prime Minister Turnbull's saying coal is good for us, and looking at funding the prospect of a massive coal mine. If you've got $1 billion, put it into schools and hospitals or public transport if you must, not transporting coal through the Great Barrier Reef to do more harm to the whole world.
Well, obviously it's been a huge campaign for us, and one of our key campaigns this year. We've focused on a few things. We want to try to show people that there's an alternative to this, an alternative that's good for the planet, that's good for people, that's good for jobs. So we've got our plan Renew Australia, which is 90% renewable energy by 2030. It means huge job growth right through regional Australia, and of course we know that this coal mine's going to kill jobs, not create jobs.
They're going to run it with robots, they say.
That's right, and not to mention all the 70,000 jobs that the Great Barrier Reef provides for Queensland. Many of those will go because as the reef dies.
It's going to be a huge election issue, and I think the best thing is for people to know that the Greens are on the move for this, as you are, and the strongest vote in the next election, if we don't have one of the big parties come on side, is going to be for the Greens. But I get the feeling everywhere. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
People want to say, what can I do about this? I'm worried about my grandkids as well as the rest of the planet. How do we stop this juggernaut?
Get your crystal ball out. What do you think's going to happen?
I think if people don't get off their hands, don't write to their MPs, don't demand that they vote against this, don't demand that they act against it and tell them they'll vote against them. If their MPs don't cross the floor on this issue, then the mine, in a democracy, the ducks are lined up to have this mine go ahead.
I think we're going to knock this thing over, and I think it's going to be a big fight. But like you, I take hope from that big Franklin campaign, and I know what having people take strong action, what that does.
And the common sense of the Australian people. They're well versed on this.
Yeah.
It's just every now and then it takes a flux to the public outrage, and I'm with you. Optimism's a good thing, but a bit of practical campaigning never went astray.